Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you could join us for today's episode because you caught me mixing up a little seasoning for our smoked salami, which I'm going to show you how to make here in just a second. My name is Eric with two guys in a cooler. Let's make it happen. Making a salami is a lot like making sausage. You want to start by weighing your meat and your fat. So we're going to use a lean meat, lean beef, and pork back fat. And then I'm going to chill it. I want to get it just under 30 degrees, 31 degrees. I'm going to be grinding my meat on a 10 millimeter coarse plate, and that's going to give me really good particle definition and really nice marbling. But you can grind it however you want. You can grind your meat and fat separate. You can grind your pork coarse and your beef fine. However you choose to grind it, once you're done, be sure to stick it back in the freezer so that you can bring the temperature down again. While that's chilling, that's going to take about 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get our starter culture ready. And a starter culture is nothing more than bacteria that acidifies your sausage meat. This acidification process is one of the safety hurdles that you must achieve when making salami, as the lower pH creates an environment that's inhospitable to unwanted bacteria. All we're going to do is let that starter culture rehydrate, which takes about 30 minutes. Once all that's done, our meat is chilled, our starter culture has been rehydrated. We're just going to go ahead and mix our seasonings with our ground meat, and then we're going to add our starter culture, just like that. Unlike fresh sausages, where you tend to add a little more water to help with the binding properties, when making salami, you don't want to add too much liquid. So we're just going to add the absolute minimum amount of liquid. We're going to mix it till our mince gets nice and sticky. We've got good protein extraction, and we can go ahead and stuff it into our hopper. When stuffing our salami meat into our hopper, we want to make sure that we slam it in there to avoid any air pockets from forming when we stuff it into our casing. And in this case, I'm going to be using a 60 millimeter synthetic casing, which we're going to pack as tight as we can with that salami mincemeat. The size of the casing is completely up to you. The wider the casing, the longer that it's going to take to dry. We're now going to go ahead and record the weight, as this is the easiest way to know when your salami is ready to eat. We're going to be targeting a 35 to 40% weight loss. If you like a more firm salami or a hard salami, you'll go on the 40%. And if you prefer a softer style of salami, then I would stop around 33 to 35. But anywhere between 30 to 40% is okay to eat. Time to prick your salami, as we're looking for air pockets that might have formed. This is also going to help with the drying process. And it's now time to ferment. Now, this doesn't have to be a complicated step. I'm putting this inside of a box where I have a 100-watt light that's going to control the heat. And I've got a tray of water directly on top that's going to keep the humidity high. And that's it. That's a fermentation chamber. My 100-watt light, which is going to radiate heat, is controlled by this Inkbird temperature controller. And this is a great controller because it's accurate, it's simple, and affordable. Notice the 75F, that's the target temperature, and the 68.6, that's the actual temperature. The little light that says heating, well, that means that my light is on, and it's going to stay on until I get to 75F, at which point it'll turn off. And now we get to the smoking. So we're going to go ahead and cold smoke this during the fermentation stage. And I'm using a cold smoker from Smoking It. It's called Bella's Cold Smoke Generator, which actually produces true cold smoke under 80 degrees. This is going to smoke for, in my case, I want it to smoke about 7 or 8 hours. It's relatively late right now. It's about midnight. And I'm going to turn my smoke down to about halfway, close the chamber door, and allow that to ferment and smoke through the entire night. Now, tomorrow morning, we're going to open this up, and it's roughly about 6 o'clock in the morning. We've been smoking all night long, and depending on how smoky you like your salami, you could smoke for an hour or two, or in my case, all night. It's time to test the pH of our mincemeat. In this little pack is what was left over in the hopper after I stuffed my salami, and all I'm going to do is test it with a pH meter. The pH that I'm looking for is anything between 4.9 and 5.3. And as I put my pH meter in there, I'm reading a 5.15, 5.14. And that's absolutely perfect. Now we're going to transfer our salami from the fermentation area to the drying area. This is where it's going to stay for the next 45 to 60 days. This particular refrigerator has been modified. I can control the humidity and can control the temperature. I've got a video coming up dedicated specifically to a drying chamber, but the conditions inside are 55 degrees Fahrenheit and 80% humidity. And it's going to hang out in there for about 60 days until I hit about 38% weight loss. It's been 60 days. There's my salami. It's nice and firm to the touch, and if the conditions are right inside your chamber, then your salami is going to dry evenly. If there's too much airflow, if the humidity's too low, if the temperature's too high, then you're going to encounter problems. But I'm going to cover all those issues in the drying chamber video, which is going to come out pretty soon. Let's go ahead and cut it open, remove the casing, give it a slice, and then see how it tastes. But first impressions as I'm cutting it open, the smoky element to it is absolutely incredible. I used a combination of pecan wood and apple wood. It's mild, and I can't wait to taste it. Center cut looks great, no visible dry ring. The particle definition and the marbling looks brilliant. Let's go ahead and give it a slice. Salami making doesn't have to be complicated. There are processes that you must follow, and you can apply those same processes to any recipe. You can make whatever salami you want and enjoy being a part of a tradition that's literally thousands of years old. This smoked salami came out remarkable. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you want the recipe, check out the link in the description box below. And if you like what you see and you want to support our work, check us out at Patreon. There's also a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching. If you're new, we'd like to say welcome. We appreciate you being here. Check out some of our other videos, and we'll see you in the next one.